Parliamentary Reporter dictation number 21 and the dictation speed is 140 words per minute. Ready? Start. Sir, a special program for women and child development was started in 1982 in rural areas. The aim of this program was to give maximum opportunities to women for self-employment and enhance their reach to social services. Initially, the program, which was implemented in 50 districts of the country, has been extended to 250 districts. Every year, this program is being extended to 50 additional districts, and it is estimated that all the districts of the country will be covered under this program during the 8th 5-year plan. Under this program, poor women in rural areas are organized and market support income generating activities relating to them are provided. For this purpose, a sum of rupees 15,000 is given as a recurring fund. The issue of providing water to all the 5.8 lakh villages is a subject matter of top priority for our government. The honorable members are well aware of this fact that the primary reason behind the high rate of infant mortality is the use of contaminated water for drinking purposes, for household chores, and for other purposes. The National Drinking Water Mission was established in 1986 to accelerate water supply with the help of improved and low-cost technologies. Keeping in view the fact that still there are around 1 lakh villages or settlements which have been partially covered by the facility of clean drinking water supply, as also the need of the hour to cover these villages entirely, the state governments have been asked to conduct countrywide survey to make a proper assessment. The survey would be completed by July 1982. On the basis of the results of this survey, the Rajiv Gandhi National Drinking Water Mission will prepare a time-bound program to cover all the villages and settlements completely during the 8th 5-year plan. In the policy of providing drinking water facility, we have laid particular emphasis on making available drinking water in those places in the villages where scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are residing. The state governments have been given special central assistance to the tune of rupees 60 crores for providing clean drinking water to 30,000 settlements of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes facing a scarcity of clean drinking water under the programs launched to celebrate the centenary year of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Under the National Drinking Water Mission, the Guinea worm problem, which is prevalent in only 6 states, will now be eliminated by the end of the current year. Similarly, the central government has taken several steps to remove the excess quantity of fluoride from drinking water. Alternative sources of clean drinking water and equipment to remove fluoride will be made available to the affected villages. For both the works, a special provision to provide funds to the states is being made. Public awakening campaign is being launched in this regard. The government have taken the decision to open laboratories at all the places for the qualitative test of drinking water. The setting up of 110 such permanent and 26 mobile laboratories has already been accorded sanction. I would also like to point out that the constructed amenities provided for the disposal of dirt and dirty water are comparatively very inadequate. This issue will be taken up for discussion at an early date in the national seminar and the policy will undergo change. I would like to mention that the World Bank, UNICEF and many countries of the world are extending their assistance for the implementation of these two programs. The program started to make available drinking water in villages through Rajiv Gandhi National Drinking Water Mission is the biggest in the world and has become a model for other developing countries. In order to have systematic agricultural development and to maintain it an effective system is essential for marketing of agricultural products so that the interests of producers and consumers may be safeguarded. A model act has been circulated to the states in order to make uniformity in the regulation and management of markets. Till now, out of 7,000 wholesale markets, 6,000 markets have been brought under this regulation. In order to provide basic infrastructure facilities for these markets under a centrally sponsored program, the committees of the trade centers are given an amount of rupees 4 lakhs to rupees 20 lakhs per market through the state government. Under this program, the total amount given to the state governments from the inception of this program till now is rupees 90 crores. Now, both the programs for the development of markets and construction of village godowns have been completely entrusted to the state governments. Classification and standardization of agriculture and related matters are very important. Madam, before I come to the general issues, I want to take the issue of the pension of ex-servicemen. This is something which is agitating the ex-serviceman for quite a long time, and recently the opposition leaders met the Prime Minister on his invitation, and the Honorable Defence Minister was also there. Here on the floor of the House, I would pointedly want to put this issue. The ex-servicemen have been agitating for one rank, one pension for quite some time. The usual argument that was being given is that it will not be possible to make a reasonable distinction between ex-servicemen and the other government employees, civilian employees. In this regard, I had a consultation with the Attorney General, Mr. Soli Sorabji, when we were in the government, and he had told us that a reasonable distinction can very clearly be made. The tenure of the Jawan or the army man is much shorter than the tenure of the civilians. In fact, for the Jawan, it is only 17 or 18 years, and it is a very short tenure of employment. So, the duration of employment opportunity is small, the risk is much higher. Certainly, the last risk that one takes is when one goes to the army or the air force or the navy. Also, the time of stay away from his family you have to calculate in the defense service. So, the hardships are much greater than any other service. At the same time, even in the constitution, it is given that the President of India is the supreme commander of the armed forces. This is a very special provision. This specific provision itself distinguishes this force from the other. I want to assure the Honorable Minister that if any legislation is required or anything of that sort is required to protect the ex-servicemen, we are ready to cooperate with the government, and the government can bring a legislation where there can be no doubt about their separate classification. In this regard, the National Front government had taken a decision in October 1990 to give benefits of pension to the ex-servicemen. The CCP had taken the decision of giving benefits from Sepoy to Subedar major level. The government had in mind to give it to all the officers also. The commitment of the government for the officers was made clear through a press release on behalf of the government. I want to state it clearly on the floor of the House that in matters of public interest, there is no question of secrecy because we are all concerned with a matter in which the ex-servicemen are emotionally involved. May I state that from the meeting we had with the Prime Minister in the presence of the Defence Minister, we clearly understood and we were given the assurance that the benefits that will accrue to the ex-servicemen will not be less than what the National Front government had agreed to give them. Here also we were given the assurance that a statement to this effect would be made on the floor of the House by the Defence Minister. I look forward to that statement and that classification on the floor of the House. I want to make it clear on behalf of the Janata Dal that unless this classification is coming forth very clearly and categorically that the benefits to the ex-serviceman will be not less than what had already been decided, it will not be possible for the Janata Dal to further get into any commitment or any other proposal of this nature.